Hello everybody, welcome back to another Live on a Toy Collector. I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's. And some of the things that I've been doing throughout the years, like I said, I'm going through my collection, finding out what I want to keep, what I want to get rid of. And I happened to kind of stumble into one of my unique pieces, which is the Disney Marx Toys 6-inch figures. I've collected these on and off throughout the years. I just randomly find them for a couple bucks. And I forgot how much I have amassed until I put them all together in one spot. So we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at these figures today. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Louis Marx and Company. So they were a company that were established in the early 1900s. And they actually made it all the way to the 1980s. The most Toyland that is pretty much recognized by them is something called Disneykins, which were these little figurines that they hand painted. You can see there's one right here. And they were very popular in the 60s and the 70s. And then they have these solid body figures that I'm pretty much going to show you guys my collection. But they're mostly known for Disneykins. Now, if you want to learn more about Disneykins, I found this fantastic documentary. It's called Disney by Marx Toys. And if you go on Facebook, it's called Disney History 101. And they have this video right here. And it actually pops up when you ask about history of Louis Marx Disney figures, and it's right there. And they did a fantastic job talking about these figures. However, I can always find a lot on the Disneykins. I can never really find much about the solid body figures that I have currently in my collection. And again, right here, it talks about the company. They were based on New York, and as you can see, right here, they founded in 1919 and unfortunately defunct in 1980s. So it talks a little bit about it on Wikipedia, and apparently they had several series of toys, including the Disneykins, the Snap-E's. They also had like bendy toys. They had all kinds of little kind of kitschy knickknacks technically they were low-cost toys for kids. So if a kid wanted a toy, it will be a couple cents per toy, and they can collect them, and they can do pretty much whatever they wanted with it. And there is a full collection, again, that's talked about right here on this video, where the largest collection of Marx Disneykins toys was, I believe, donated or is currently in a museum, and it was all collected by one gentleman. And they discuss it right here in full detail. So like I said, my channel is not me talking about the history of these toys. It's mostly me just going through my collection, getting to revisit it and pretty much enjoy it. But I will provide these links so that way if you guys want to check these out, you're more than welcome to. Now, the Disneykin figures, not the Disneykins, the Marx Toys 6-inch figures. I gotta tell you, the pricing on these are always crazy. I normally find them on like the dollar bins or just like random like glass displays. Most people do not remember them, especially a lot of the younger vendors. The older vendors kind of look at them and go, nah, it's a plastic toy. I got it when I was a kid. And I bought these anywhere between like $1 all the way to $5 max. And as you can see right here, you can find them on eBay. So if you want to kind of get into the collection, you can. I've never been able to fully define how many of these figures are available. I like to go on eBay and find out new ones. So right here, there is Snow White. There's Tinkerbell. I never found these in person. I've had several Mickeys. And here's the one thing you do have to kind of pay attention. Because these are from the 70s, some of them will have features that are broken. So just keep that in mind as you look into these collections. And anything that has like a tail, like Pluto, the dog seat, there's one and his tail is missing. Either kids teed on it or they just kind of chew on it. Or it just eventually snaps off because of age. So just keep that in mind that as you're looking at these, just be much, if you're trying to get a pristine one, good luck. These things were used and abused by kids, when they got them because, again, they were solid bodied. And, here's someone else that they have a pretty good sized collection. Some of these are painted and then some of them are not. They actually have the Minnie and the Jiminy Cricket on their collection, but they're not that hard to recollect. So here's some of the Disneykins that I was talking about. And these are the little figurines. Now they remind me of like the metal die-cast Warhammer figures when I first started playing Warhammer years ago, where like you painted them and they look kind of derpy. I mean, look at those eyes. So, but you know, it's part of that. It's part of that history and part of the collection. But I've not been able to get a finite, how do you say, a finite list of all the characters. And even Tinkerbell, if you do find her, I've noticed there's two versions of Tinkerbell. There's the one where she's standing more to the left, and here's one where she's standing more to the right. And a lot of the times her wings would be missing if you do manage to find them. You can see right here, see something chewed on it. Either the kid chewed on it or a pet chewed on it. So just something to keep in mind when you're going through these. But yeah, so these are pretty fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at my actual collection. All right, so let's take a look at my bags of goodies here that I got going on. So I have two separate bags here. So I'm going to start with this one. Oop, I closed it. Okay, so in this one we have two Plutos. So this one, he has, some of them has the partially painted eyes. You can see right here. There he is. And I found this in a shop in Erie, Pennsylvania. Again, for some reason, someone severed the tail off. But you can see at the bottom right here, when you're looking at these, there's markings at the bottom that says these are the Marx Toys. So they're right here. They're kind of hard to see in the video, but you have it there. This is what an unpainted look like. Right there, you can see right there, this one is very clear. My only other assumption is that this could be a bootleg version. So you can see there's the actual brand here. This one's a little bit more worn off, so there's a possibility this could be, they molded it and then they just kind of redid it. But this one is an actual one right here. You can see Walt Disney. There's the copyright right there, and there's the production. So keep that in mind as you're looking for these. Make sure you are getting an authentic one. Look for the mark versus a possible bootleg. So we got those two right there. It's a little smaller. All right, then I got my Mickeys. Okay, right here, you can see, let's see, made in Hong Kong. So this one's a bootleg. See right here, they even bootleg right there. I don't know, I could be wrong. I mean, this one's an authentic one. So keep that in mind. So there's the Mickeys there. And I think maybe that's why it's so hard to kind of find these, because of the bootlegs that were made. I mean, these were not that hard to kind of, you know, make forfeits of, if I make me fair. So keep that in mind as we're looking through these. All right, and I could be wrong. And if you have experience with these, I would love to hear your comments. Like I said, I by no means consider myself an expert in any of these figures. I just thought they were neat, and I got them many, many years ago. So here's Sir Jiminy Cricket, and he is in pink. And again, these come in so many colors. It's been very difficult to kind of nail down how many colors are there. So just kind of been by trial and error. I've not found a good webpage. In this right here, you can see there's the actual brand. There is not. And the good part is about these, first of all, they're very sturdy figures. These are kid-friendly. They're extremely kid-friendly. Okay, there is the Donald Duck right there. You can see there's the signature right there. There's the Donald Duck right there. Okay. Then I have, there is a Peter Pan right here. And this one right here is a legit product. But unfortunately, Peter Pan, his hand was off when I got him. So, sorry, Peter Pan. The crocodile got your hand. You know, he got a little nom-nom-nom on you. Okay, here is one of the 7 dwarfs. And as far as I'm tracking, he's the only one that they made. But again, that's as far as I'm tracking. And again, these are pretty solid. You are not going to hurt these. This is one of those few collectibles that I tell people that if you're going to get them, you know, as long as you don't have a dog or a baby or something flammable, these are pretty robust figures. Let me pull out the Goofy. Okay. And I do have 2 Goofies here. They both have the marks, so there's right there. They're both authentic. You can see that right there. And there is the Goofy figure. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see the full lineup. There we go. Yeah, But that's not bad. And again, this has been just me on and off grabbing them. Like I said, I got this guy for like $4. Some of these I bought them in bulk from one. It was like a toy show, and they had them. But as you can see, more often than not, you're gonna see a little bit of damage on like some of the edges here. Either is wear and tear, but most of the ones that I've always seen is because someone either bit into it, they cut it, or they did something to it that they just completely destroy that little part of the figure itself. But most of these stand on their own. It's what that one falls over. Come on, stay. There we go. Stay. But yeah, these are. Oh, there it is. There's his hand. There's Peter Pan's hand. Boop. I knew I had it somewhere, but unfortunately, it's detached. So this one I gotta be really careful that I do not lose his hand. But it is there. But as you can see, they do snap off after a while. These are kind of rigid body. But that is his hand, and it has the little pan flute on there. All right. But not much to say. For most part, I'm only tracking. There's a lot of primary colors on these. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, I am tracking that they are bootlegs, like right here with a little Pluto. As you can see, they kind of tried it, but maybe it's bootleg. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. It kind of has the symbol, but it's kind of hard to tell. Like, again, these things are like 50 years old, and it's very hard to tell. But again, if you have collected these and you know more about these figures, I do welcome your input. As I say, I'm mostly just sharing my little collection of stuff that I like really kitschy things that are unique. I don't collect a lot of like the mainline stuff because there's so much of it that I just don't care. I just like things that are unique pieces. And when I saw these first, like almost 20 years ago, I thought they were unique, and I randomly picked them up for a couple bucks because I think they're cool. So with that, guys, I appreciate you guys just kind of joining me in another one of my little Goofy videos. I'm here with my boy Goofy. Always been a fan of Goofy. Love the Goofy movie. The totally extremely Goofy movie. Goof Troop. Always love Goofy. Tall and goofy and makes me laugh. I don't know what it is. He's got that as what the kids call it, Riz, that I've always found him to be my favorite one. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I will continue going through my collection, just pretty much just revisiting and enjoying them. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. And again, if you know more about these figures, I would love to hear from you, because every time that I kind of try to find anything, I do find about the Disney kins, but I find very little about these figures themselves. But I do find them on sale all the time, so I always welcome your input. But anyway, guys, take care, have a wonderful 2026, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Cheers.